Wholeness, beautiful beings, welcome to Notes of Nara. My name is Nadia Rashida, and may this message find you well and whole. Today's topic is don't allow others to write the script of who you are supposed to be. A couple days ago, I was in meditation. That's where I get a lot of downloads and realizations and all that. I love meditation. And is it easy? Absolutely not. But that'll be another video. But no, I was thinking of like my life, and there's 37 years of breathing air and being in this beautiful vessel. And I've come to a new conclusion. Maybe the conclusion's always been there, and it's new to me, right? New to my awareness. Maybe my subconscious knew this, my soul knows this. I've come to the conclusion that my life, the more chaotic my life seems to the outside world, to my family, friends, coworkers, community, society, the more sane I feel. The more sane I feel. Meaning, and I'm going to label this career. I'm going to put career here, right? Career. I see the word car in career, your vehicle, the direction you're taking in your life, career. And the more I seem normal to the outside world, family, friends, coworkers, community, society, the more chaotic I feel. I hope I said that right. I hope I did. Okay, I really do. So meaning it's like if a friend of mine's like, oh wow, like she's got herself together. She's working that 9 to 5. She's living alone. She's ooh. Look at her, an independent woman. Okay, these are her plans. This is what she's got going on. Wow, so fitting, so professional. And inside, I'm screaming. Inside, it doesn't feel right. Inside, my heart isn't in like the master's program that I was so committed to for the past year of my life. And it's like my soul is screaming at me when I hear that. And then it's like, oh, and then the flip side is, oh, okay, ooh, no, she's okay, she's switching jobs, she's switching careers. Why is she getting rid of all of her things? Why is she selling her car? What's going on? Didn't she say that she was gonna do this? What? And they get confused. And I feel at ease. I feel perfectly fine. I feel sane. And so this is yet just another reminder to you all, those of you that, you've been the paradigm, there's so many paradigms that I find we're in the year, according to numerology, 2025, 2205, 9. 9 is the ending, okay? Ending of a cycle or cycles. And the human collective is going through massive paradigm shift, okay? Just endings of old ways of thinking. And I'm going to say the word, don't get angry, my male watchers, patriarchal, okay? I'm not coming for you or anything like that, but patriarchal society, okay? It's a system that it's built, right? It has very structured power, obsession with power and money, capitalism and control, and and women, we feed into it too. It's like it affects men and women and children and everyone, okay? But it's slowly unraveling. It's slowly unfolding and unraveling, and then you have the powers that be that they have their hands around it, and they're it's almost what I'm seeing a man in a business suit clawing at the edge of a cliff, and the cliff is kind of at a weird angle, and he's clawing, he's sliding down with his bare nails into the rock of the edge of this cliff, just hanging on to these old things. This man is symbolic of that, right? I mean, he's got like anguish on his face, just, no, you know? And that's what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling when I go into work, and with the city I live in the community I live in. You know, I don't watch the news anymore. I don't watch it. I don't follow it. I listen to podcasts and opinions from different people, but I no longer follow anything anymore. There is just, do I like the apathy that I have towards world events? No, not necessarily. But I'm all about safeguarding my mental health and my well-being and discernment and boundaries, and focusing more on my internal reality, because that's what I know for a fact shapes my external reality. So, you know, but I say all that to say this: allowing others, following the script that someone's, written for you, your soul will haunt you. Your soul will not rest. It will not let you rest. It will not let you create the way you should create. It will not allow you to rest the way you should rest. It will, your soul is an infinite energy that is your internal compass of what you co-create in this world. And that's just a tiny little description of what the soul is. The soul, there are no words really, but human to human, I gotta use words to express myself. So it's just something, it's a knowing. But don't allow others to write your story. Okay? And then you follow the story, you follow the script because you want to make the producer and the director of the film that is your life, the story that is your life, the movie that is your life comfortable, because you don't want to piss off the director, right? We all have seen examples where they have the passionate, angry director. Cut, do it again, cut, do it again. And you get tired, the actor gets tired, and like, oh my gosh, how many takes do we need? We took 80 so far. No, I need just one thing from you, just this one thing. And you keep playing out the script, and then you turn into a zombie, like you just turn like one of the zombies in The Walking Dead. Thank God I don't watch that TV show anymore. That was years ago, but I've evolved from horror flicks and stuff like that. Thank goodness. They never settled with me. And in the script that's written for you shouldn't settle you, but it does. And a lot of people follow it. A lot of people follow the script, and then they're unhappy. It's really very sad to watch. When you try to follow the status quo of making a family and having this certain income and owning a house, and then you're still unfulfilled. I've seen it more than I would like to with people closest to me. And so if everyone else is running around with their heads on fire because you feel at ease with what you're doing, let it be. Let them go. Like, I've met people well into their 30s that are just kind of like still abiding by the narcissistic, limiting, codependent paradigms and projections and trauma from their childhood. You know, I've met people like that, and thank God in my mid 20s, in my 20s for sure, I've met people that were just their most authentic, brutal, raw self, and they're living their most creative life. Did they have all the money in the world? No. Some of them were extremely wealthy. Some of them weren't wealthy at all. Some of them were the, you know, the artists just moving about. You know, the amount of photographers I've met, people that were just doing what they were doing to do it, you know, not to appeal to anybody else. They wore their all kinds of clothes and express themselves. You know, I had one, oh my gosh, she was amazing. Amazing photographer, and she was into cinematography as well, and a beautiful soul. I mean, she looked like a big hippie, and I mean, she'd shave her hair and then she'd add like color to her hair, and then she'd shave the other side, and she'd shave her head bald, and she'd wear a wig the next day. Meanwhile, she's very mentally sane, don't get me wrong, like, but just, and I admired that. I admired people starting their businesses and running their businesses. And I mean, just, I've seen a lot. In my 30s, I've seen people settle. And then I look at my life. I'm like, ugh. I don't want to settle for less. I had a colleague today. She goes, I'm not settling less for no one. I only want the best. I only want the best for myself. Because when you get the best for yourself, whatever that may be, which is different for everybody, right? You can offer the best to other people. That's how I look at it. That's how I feel. If you know you're receiving the best that you deserve, when someone approaches you, you're in that right headspace and frequency to be like, here you go. This is the best I have to offer. And they're just kind of like, wow, thank you so much. And that lights them up. And then they go and they spread that frequency to other people. When you're not receiving the best that you deserve, whatever that may be, what the hell, excuse my French, what the hell do you think you're offering to other people? If you find yourself unhappy with your job, unhappy with your pay, I'm not saying you got to make $1 million. Unhappy with your job, unhappy with your pay, unhappy with your health, unhappy with your wealth, unhappy with your spiritual life, unhappy with your creative life, just unhappy to be unhappy because you're unhappy. What the hell do you think you're offering to people closest around you? Oh my God, unhappiness. And you wear a mask. You wear a mask of joy. You wear a mask of happiness. You wear a mask of spirituality. You wear a mask of, oh, I got my ish together. I can pay all my bills, right? That money mask. You wear a mask of social acceptance. You just wear a mask after mask after mask, all the while you're offering. Shit, that's what you're offering other people when you're living and you're receiving below your standards. That's what you're going to give other people. And who wants to live a life like that? I wouldn't want to accept the bare minimum of something. The bare minimum of something. I don't care what it is. Money, relationships, spiritual practice, I don't care what the heck it is. And then feel okay with myself when someone approaches me and says, hey, what do you have to offer? Here you go. That would mess me up. Do that day after day after day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade after decade. That would destroy me. And maybe that is the South Node Virgo in me, I guess, that is slowly, dying off in this lifetime. Because my North Node, according to Western astrology, is a Pisces, and I definitely feel that, right? Definitely feel that. But I also have an issue with perfectionism, right? And let me tell you, my life is far from perfect. You see my artsy fartsy stuff back here, but if I flip the camera around, you would see a mess. Meaning I have not a horrible mess, but I have things because I'm in the process of moving and making a really big transition in my life. And so I'm gathering things that I know I cannot take with me. And I've done this so dozens of times. So it's not a big issue for me. But I have perfectionism will keep you stagnant. Oh, I gotta have this before I do that, and I gotta do that before I do this, and I gotta do this before I do that, and I gotta do that before I do this. I have to have this much money. It's called practicality and being rational and logical, of course. Yes, use your left brain, but the left side of your brain, right? But at the same time, you want to be whole. You want the left and the right to work together, to be in sync with one another. And so rewriting your life script, yeah, it's challenging. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, you don't have all the answers. You won't have all the power to know all outcomes. And this is someone who I'm very sensitive and I receive downloads all the time, right? Of things that could happen, will happen, or haven't happened. You know, I do, but I don't, it's not our job to attach ourselves to what could happen. And it's not our job to attach ourselves to things that have happened. It's about being present and being an active participant in the rewriting of your script. And letting go of the old script is not fucking easy. Excuse my French. It is not easy. It's heart-wrenching. It's scary. It's going to challenge you. It's going to challenge everyone around you because everyone has projected their story about who you are and the role that you play. And you see, I never questioned how the role that I play in other people's lives. I never questioned their role in mine. I just allow people in, allow people out, allow people in, come and go. I mean, being a traveling person, a human being, all my life, I've never stayed. I think the longest, I'm trying to think because there are times where I would stay in one state, but within that state, I would still move from city to city to city, or in that one city, I would still move from one side of town to the other side of town, or down the street. I've always been in movement. But yeah, it is a challenge, and you have to give yourself grace, but don't follow or allow others to write the script of your life and what you're meant to become. Only you can do that. Only you can create that. Only you can follow through with that. Only you can change it. If you say, hey, I'm going to actually go here, and then you change your mind in the middle of it, you can freaking do that and don't feel bad about it. If you say, you know what, I was going to go to grad school, but then I want to open up my business, or you know what, I was going to go do this and go travel there, but you can do that. It's about honoring your role as a co-creator, not honoring what's co-written by someone else outside of your own experience. It's tough. It is, especially in the butt-ass crack of the middle of a... Sorry. I don't mean to curse so much. The dawn of the digital age, right? The butt-ass crack of dawn of the digital age. And I say that because how profound and amazing it is to have so much speed and connect with people with such ease. When century ago, 1925, 1825, 1725, 1125, what? So it's, but then I also find that human beings can be quite pretentious. I'll actually say this, Westerners, because the Western Empire, yeah, I said it. Yes, I said it, okay? The Western Empire. the culture of the Western mindset, and I say meaning the US, Canada, Australia, and most, if not all of Europe, okay? And yes, I'm generalizing, don't come for me. It's pretentious because it's leading the rest of the other countries, but I don't want to get into all that. But I'm just saying, human beings, you know, can be quite full of ourselves when it comes to our little discoveries. But yet we can't feed ourselves. We can't solve world hunger. We can't solve homelessness. We can't solve clean water. Like, what? But we can come up with these beautiful devices that can unite and divide us. So again, it's that script. And I do believe there's a massive split happening right now. There is one title of a video I didn't watch, but there's one content creator, the title, it said how humanity is on the verge of another renaissance. I was like, wow, that's an interesting way to look at the happenings of the world. Another renaissance. I think we're due for one, yeah? I think we're due for one. New approaches, new ways of thinking, new ways of interacting, and how the digital world will play into that. Because here's the thing, I bring up the digital age so strongly in this video because in with the topic with career and writing your own script, because they're rewriting the script for what a career is. They're rewriting the script for what monetary gain is. They're rewriting the script for what currency is. They're rewriting the script for what service jobs will become. Y'all think that police officers, we're always going to need firefighters, right? I think that's very far technical or digital advancements, right? But the service jobs that they're coming after right now that I'm seeing is in the medical field and the educational field. And it's a slow, sad integration of what's happening, what I can see. And I worked in both industries for sure, and I can speak from experience. It's just sad, y'all. Okay, and I'm speaking as a Westerner who grew up in the Western world, you know, and practiced certain Eastern traditions and all that other stuff and religions. And what I see, it's like with all this rewriting, especially with the integration of AI everywhere, and now people are using AI as part of their business model. They're not bit model. I don't know their how they manage their business. It's time to wake up. It's very new age, very new to us anyway. And so what is your role in that? What role are you playing in that? Because if you continue to go by the script that's already written for you, there's a plan and agenda for you already. There's a plan and agenda for each country, for each cultural group, for each the system in place. So healthcare, business, academic, there's already programs in place for most of humanity when it comes to how we run these outdated systems. So it's really make sure that you are visiting the script that you should be writing for yourself. Because if you go by what everyone's projecting onto you and the script that they've already written for you, you're going to be one. This just it's not great. It's not great. You know, you have people telling you, oh, AI, you shouldn't use technology. Then you have other people that are like, oh my gosh, you should totally use it. Then you have people that are against AI, but then they get lost in the virtual reality. It's turning into a soup of confusion. And I will say the best thing anyone can do right now is to live intentionally and know your why. Know your why. Why are you living where you're living? Why are you creating what you're creating? Why are you loving who you're loving? Because people are like, oh my God, divorce rates have been going up for the past 30 years. You know, there's a reason for that. There's a metaphysical, spiritual, occultic reason for that, cultural reason for that, political reasons for that, right? Be very aware of who you're pouring your love into in these next few years, because especially if you are avoiding loving yourself and you continue to love someone else from an empty place, oh God. Dear one, just ask yourself why. And people avoid the question why because they're scared. Like, why? If you ask yourself, why am I married to this person? If you're scared of asking yourself that and you've been with them for 10, 15 years, I can understand why. Or why am I working at this job, in this career, in this industry? If you're scared of asking yourself that question because you've been working in that industry for 15 or 20 years, I can totally understand why. But these are questions that we must ask ourselves. What script are we following? And I'm going to end it here because I don't like talking in circles. But yeah, you know, careers. Remember, careers. There's the word car in them, and you have to ask, are you the passenger or the driver? Are you in the driver's seat? So thank you so much for tuning in. May this message find you well and whole, and I will see you next time. Bye.